put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning. Good morning.
Welcome back to the morning show on Tobago Updates Television. This morning we have conversations, of course, in studio with our guests as we speak about International Women's Day 2024, and the theme this year is Inspire Inclusion. Our first guest this morning is Miss Arianne Ford, and she's the principal of Signal Hill Secondary School. And so we're going to have those important conversations, those relevant conversations, as it tends to, women in career and, just climbing the corporate ladder, being a woman in a school that has to take care of children. We're just going to have those conversations this morning. So good morning and welcome.
Good morning and good morning all. I'm so happy to be here.
Right, and we're happy to have you. So the theme this year for International Women's Day is Inspire Inclusion. What do you understand by this, or what is your interpretation of this?
Well, for me, inclusion is very important, particularly at my school, where the emphasis in the last few years, I would say, has been on getting females to be in leadership roles, getting females to be a part of the decision making, because simply if we look at the history for years, we know what the investment in men has reaped. And over a period of time, we have only now started really investing in that way in terms of including women in part and parcel of the history of our country, and by extension, our schools.
Right, and how do you think, in terms of you said you wanted women in decision-making roles, how do you see women influencing decisions to bring about positive results, especially in the school environment? Because, women have that maternal and that, that instinct. So how does that play a role in decision-making?
Now, you see, I would agree with you there that women tend to be more supportive, tend to be more understanding. The emotional intelligence seems to be there. However, in my experience, women are equally intelligent academically. They are strong-willed, strong-minded. They don't buckle under pressure. So that view of the past, where women were seen as more of the support, more in a supportive role, I am not seeing that. I'm seeing more girls assuming the leadership roles. Girls are the stronger ones. And in terms of, even in my members of staff, women now are taking that leadership role, making decisions, being able to withstand pressure, and being able to guide with still that emotional background and intelligence there.
And how is it impacting the population of your school in terms of having the women making these decisions and taking up leadership roles?
I think it is impacting it positively, because we are seeing a shift in the dynamics, meaning that for me, I am seeing more of our male students respecting females. You know that we have a problem of domestic violence, and sometimes women are the victims of this type of abuse. However, because women and by extension the female students are taking more of a leadership role, we are seeing it impacting on the young men, because they now have a deeper understanding and appreciation for women, for females, and they now are able to respect them in the manner in which they should.
Right, and sometimes with interactions, even in schools, where you have like group settings and like you have to have focus discussion groups, you see the girls are the ones who are either the leader of the group, or the one starting the conversation, or the one encouraging the group to ensure they have the projects handed in on time and stuff like that.
We still tend to have that, where the females tend to be mothering. They want to make sure that everything is done in the way that it should be done. We still have that, and that in itself lends a beautiful touch to those types of exercises.
Right, and in your career, getting to the level of principal, what was the journey like for you in terms of getting there, your educational journey, acquiring your degree, your promotions, and to get to where you are now? What was the journey like for you as a woman?
Interestingly, my experience has been different in that all the institutions that I have attended, women were the top achievers. Women were the one that excelled, and women were the ones that accessed those promotional opportunities. When it comes to education, unfortunately, not enough men are there. So we see, well, in my experience, I'm seeing more women. So for me to answer that question, it would be somewhat biased simply because in my experience, women have always been given the opportunity, and women, not only that, but they have accepted the opportunity in terms of accessing any type of promotion. Sorry, even when we look at other leadership roles, the heads of department, even the teachers in the classroom, predominantly women. So my experience, and I'm saying the experience in terms of the educational sector, has been that women are the ones that access these types of opportunities. So I think that a person in another environment, in another workplace, would be able to answer the question in a different way, simply because my experience has always been women are the top achievers in education. Women are the ones that continue to access the promotional opportunities, and women ultimately, even at the level of the classroom, take up those leadership roles.
Right, and I want to commend women for this as well, but this also sounds like a conversation we need to have when it's International Men's Day.
Correct.
To address
Yes.
some of those
Yes.
issues as well, to give our men equal sort of opportunities where that is concerned.
Yes.
In terms of your home and your community, how do you see strong women impacting change or encouraging the ones that are coming up in those spaces at home and in your community?
If we look at our country, Trinidad and Tobago, I think we are unique and we are ahead when it comes to the progress and the investment, the progress of and the investment in women. If we look at the past in terms of politics, women have been very active. If we come even smaller in terms of on this island, women again are very active in politics, very active in all the various departments. The administrative posts are predominantly dominated by women. Even in my community, the women still hold a very active and significant role in terms of bringing the community, bringing the people together, organizing the family days, the recreational activities, the sporting events. Yes, men are very much a part of it, but we still have the women at the core and at the center. And I think that Trinidad and Tobago is a leader in the region in terms of women's rights and advocating for feminism.
That's very interesting there to see
Yes.
those statistics there. And you know, like when you get like down to the nitty-gritty of it in the home, because that's where it all begins. That's where it all begins. It shapes your the way you think.
Correct.
It builds culture. And you know, sometimes we see homes where we have to have strong women. And I want to speak to that as well, where there's just either primarily a woman there, a woman standing alone as a single mom, or just a woman having to be strong for her family. How have you seen that impacted even your students in school that come from homes where there's just a woman, or homes where the woman has to be, you know, the backbone of the home?
Yes, I like that question because it really points to what is really evident in the society, where the majority or a large number of women become the home makers, the breadwinners, and so on. If we look at what is happening, we would see a lot of homes, absentee fathers, either the fathers have died or just not around, and the women are continuing to take that mantle of the leader. However, even though this is commendable, I still feel that women sometimes need a little more support. And I would like to see more programs, more opportunities where women can tap into to get assistance. Because in my experience dealing with parents, especially those that are women and those that are in single parent households, it is quite a challenge. They do it, but some really need that additional support. It is quite a challenge working, providing for the home, making sure that the basic needs of the children are met, and also being there for the children. That in itself is something that is quite difficult. And I feel that perhaps if we have more opportunities for women to tap into the programs that would support, some of the programs could be something as simple as homework, more homework centers that is within the communities that would allow these students to be supervised when parents are still at work or not at home. This is what I want to see more of, because although we are strong, although we may give off the impression that we are capable of doing all and everything, there is still more support that we need as women.
And I want to agree with you here because, I mean, we wear this S on our chest and we call ourselves superwoman. But I am telling you, I know we are celebrating International Women's Day, but I'm telling you, I love the support of not just a community, but of a strong man also in the home. Because
and nothing is wrong with that.
Exactly.
Nothing is wrong with
balance
that.
Is important. The balance is important. You know, so I endorse this, and I endorse the support coming for the woman. And it makes it easier on the home. It makes it easier for things to be bearable in the home. The support in terms of taking care of the children, as you said, the homework, the chores, ensuring the children stay in line. So we just need that community, a sort of community support for our homes, for our women.
That's right.
As we progress and build beautiful communities here in Tobago. In closing, is there anything you'd like to share?
I would simply like to say to the men out there, women, as strong as we are, we need you. We need the support in the homes. We even need the support in the workplace. It cannot be done without your support and encouragement. And as you said, there are times that we wear this big S on our chest and we make it seem as though we are capable of any and everything. But I think in life, it was designed for a woman to really have that support from her male counterpart. So to the men, please continue to support, continue to encourage, because that is the kind of love, that is the kind of support that we need to push our society and to push the woman further.
Thank you so much. We've been speaking to an educator there, Miss Arianne Ford. I hope I pronounced it correctly.
Yes, you did.
And we're talking about, I mean, we're celebrating International Women's Day, and we also have to be vulnerable and to show the areas where we are also weak and we need you. Not necessarily weak in the terms of weakness, but in terms of where we need that additional support and that additional strength, and showing you men that we love you too. Although this week is about us, we love you and we need you as well to continue building stronger communities. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go for a short break before we continue conversations in studio with our guest. And of course, before we go, we invite all of you to help us share the live, share the live, share the live. We'll be back.